Gotta have the great stuff recorded, right?
Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Keith Flynn. I'm the Director of Digital Marketing here at West USA Realty. If you're an agent with us, welcome. If you're not, even bigger welcome. Certainly excited to have you guys on this morning. We'll be jumping into personal branding for real estate agents. And so 28 slides. I will be entertaining, animated, and hopefully have some bad dad jokes for you to keep you all along the way. I know that when it comes to personal branding, it's we know that buzzword, but what all does it mean? Like, what goes into a personal brand? It's more than just a headshot now. It is all about who you are, how you act, the way you engage, what you say to people. It's amazing. So we'll go into the nuances, obviously crank into some topical ideas, things that you can implement into your strategy. Again, this is about marketing. You guys have spent so much time and energy to get your license and become an agent. And but the bottom line is, if you don't know how to brand yourself and market yourself out there, you're not going to stand out, and you're not going to be able to get yourself any leads, any traction. So there's just a lot we can do. Hopefully, it'll be some great value for you. I think it will be. Of course, like all of our webinars, my webinars particularly too, they are recorded, so you can find them a replay on our YouTube channel. If you got to take a call, if you got to take, a moment to not finish or just not finish in general, you'll know they'll be recorded for you. You'll be able to experience that after the fact. And of course, revisit the content if there's something that you missed. But we are live, so feel free to jump into a chat there or turn off your microphone and ask a question. Feel free to interrupt me, like whatever that was. And you guys are more than welcome to pick my brain, and I hopefully will be able to give you guys some great answers. So I'm going to keep an eye on the wait room as people are jumping in. We'll get rocking and rolling. So what we first and foremost always like to do is say thank you to our sponsors here at West USA. Each and every class that I host, we have a couple sponsors who take a few moments at the beginning here, connect with them, find out what's happening in their world. We have Amy from Fairway Mortgage through the Justin Frederick team, who is gracious enough to join us and share a little bit of what's happening in the loan industry. Good morning, Amy. Hold on.
Good
There
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Us. Like Keith said, my name is Amy with the Frederick team at Fairway Mortgage. We have 5 licensed loan officers on our team. We are available pretty much all the time to be of you guys to help with whatever lending needs you have. From a marketing standpoint, if you need any marketing material or help with your CRM, anything of that nature, please reach out to me. I would love to have a meeting with you and show you different things that we can offer you when it comes to your brand and marketing for your social media. So thank you again, Keith. And it's gonna be a great class. I'm excited for this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, my pleasure. I'm glad to have you guys on. Hey, Amy, I think I know I asked this question last month, but we always have new listeners, and so, or last week, and we have new listeners. So what you guys offer, suggestions, ideas, topics that people can implement into their social media content creation, so that we sound like a more educated real estate agent. You guys offer a lot of support in that respect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We offer lots of support when it comes to educating agents to help so you can help your borrowers and you can sound like you know your stuff. We do a coffee with Justin once a month. It's actually tomorrow, where we go over lending topics. It's via Zoom. So if you are interested in that, tomorrow we're going to be going over all things title related, why you should not write a 10-day contract, even though your lender, preferably
Right.
us, can do a 10-day close. Title can't sometimes. So just little things that title wants you to know. Talk about closing costs, so you can present that to your, if you have a first-time home buyer that has no idea what a settlement statement is, if you are educated on it and you know about it, then you just sound like more of a rock star. So we are absolutely here to support you guys 100% with any needs you have, from the education all the way to the marketing and everything in between.
That's awesome. Yeah, especially with loan in general. I mean, it's always changing regardless of just the actual interest rates, but different plans, different lending opportunities for first-time home buyers. So staying aware of that, staying connected to your loan and agent to help out. I know that Amy's going to drop in her contact information in the chat log there. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to them. I know they're fantastic and always a pleasure to chat with them. Thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah, one more thing. Your lender is one of a great source to get your offers accepted. So if your lender's not really fighting to help get your offers accepted, reach out to me and I can tell you what we do to kind of set apart from different lenders, other lenders.
That's a great point. We definitely want to get them approved, right?
All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy. And our other sponsor for this morning is Anthony Cucci at HCP Property Inspections. Anthony and those guys over there are fantastic. Great resource for you guys when it comes to home inspections. We know there's a lot of offers out there that they're just skipping on a lot of stuff that you see as is, just trying to get it sold, over ask, a lot of contingencies. But, you guys need to know what you're dealing with when it comes to your product. And so that house is going to have to definitely have an eyeballs on it. And so they're great over there. I highly recommend reaching out to them. If you have any questions about home inspection, what the process entails. And guys, reach out to these vendors and get them on camera with you. See if your loan, title, home inspection, contractor, landscaper, anybody that you may work with, you guys all should have a Rolodex of some trusted vendors. Get them on camera and ask them 2 or 3 hot button questions you get the most often, and start building your video archive when it comes to knowledge. Have that in your back pocket, and you can reach out to them and they'll help you out in that respect. All right, so let's get rocking and rolling. Personal branding. I often read with my son and my daughter now of 3 years, Dr. Seuss books, and my favorite one we always love reading is this particular quote about you and personal branding. And today you are you. That is truer than true. There's no one alive who is youer than you. So knowing who you are and how you're going to put yourself out there in the world is important. And what tactics you're going to use. Where do you go to approach social media and building an online presence? Your personal brand isn't complicated. Just knowing it's more than just your logo or your, color palettes, whatever you have in the way of design is more than that. And so we'll get into understanding personal branding. But before we do, understanding the difference between marketing and branding. And so simple definitions here. Marketing is about creating a demand for your product and service. Marketing builds people's interest in buying and encourages people to take action and buy. Branding, on the other hand, branding is the image of your company. Some of your brand is created by the way that people see you visually, what you represent, your product, the colors, logo visuals, your marketing materials, collateral, things you hand out when you first meet a client, everything from your business card to the way that you say hello, shake a hand. It's amazing when it comes to the nuances between personal branding and marketing, or branding and marketing. A better example here for you guys is marketing. So you as a marketer are telling people, hey, I'm a trusted real estate professional. Once you have shown social proof, you've become an agent you're getting reviews, you're getting great feedback, you're having connections with your clients, they're sharing word of mouth, their experience with you, your referrals is important. And the goal is once your audience, your customer starts to know of you, is aware of you, has seen your social proof, connected with you, soon they'll be saying, I understand you are a trusted real estate professional. And that's when you know your marketing efforts are having a great effect. And now your branding is taking hold and you're starting to really have an impact on the people that you're looking to connect with. So when you're also looking at branding and marketing, there's a lot of nuances to it. And, I just want to flood you guys with just unbelievable amount of buzzwords. So on this slide here, on the left-hand side, we are looking at branding. Branding goes everything from your name. So whether you're using, a monogram or your first initials of your name or your full name. I know signature logos are real popular right now. I've been seeing a lot of those, people hiring professional writers, calligraphy to create brands. So your logo, your name, personal branding. If you have a team name is great, accompanied by a logo as well. Your branding. How's your voice? Are you excited? Are you monotone? Are you someone who doesn't really have much voice inflection? How you speak to people and the enthusiasm really comes through as well. Your logo, as we've talked about, your tagline. I have no agents who have particular taglines that they use. Carol has the buyers. I'm sure if you listen to, KTAR, or you've been out in the real estate industry for a while, Carol has the buyers. Very popular tagline. Expectations. What expectations are you setting for your clients and setting for yourself? That's a big part of your brand as well. Of course, you get into your fonts and your logos, your colors, your promises. What are you guaranteeing? What are you letting your clients know that if you work with me, this is what you can expect? Visual style. There we go. Is another proponent to it. Some really deep stuff you can look into when it comes to visual continuity across all your marketing materials. Same font, same logo, same colors, and of course, your personality is important when it comes to having an online presence. Social media now more than ever has given you guys an opportunity to have a great online presence and showcase your personality, and of course your reputation. What are people saying about you when you leave the room? That's important as well. On the right-hand side there, marketing, all the good stuff, campaigns you might want to run, in and outbound calls, how you're answering the phone, what are you saying when you answer the phone, advertising. If you are venturing off into advertising, there's a lot of cost-effective ways to get your content out there. Any offers you may have. I know some agents who are, taking a point off or offering, reduced commissions. It's a very competitive market out there. I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm not advising you to do that. I just know that some agents have certain offers, reduced commission, and so on. Channels. What channels are you using? We'll get into where you should be advertising. I have agents ask a lot, where do I put my content? Do I need to be on every channel? No, you don't. And we'll get into the specifics. Any promotions you may run. Again, that falls with offers. Sales calls. Are you dialing and smiling? Are you making 40 to 60 calls a day? Are you, using a Rolodex? Are you going through your CRM? What does it entail when it comes to marketing yourself? Of course, search engine optimization. Are you guys Googling yourself to see how you're showing up? Google My Business. Do you have a listing? People are doing homework through the use of their cell phone device. We all have these powerful computers in our hands, and the first thing we're doing is searching for, how much does that cost me when I'm on Amazon, or is it in the budget? So people are using the phone to do that, and they're also using the phone to find out more about you. And of course, your leads. Where are they coming from when it comes to considering your marketing efforts? Where are your leads coming from? Okay, so benefits of personal branding. Some benefits that you guys could look forward to. Steady stream of ideal clients. When you have a great, strong personal brand, people are naturally attracted to that. They gravitate towards your brand, and so you can expect to have a good stream of ideal clients that are pre-qualifying. They're doing all their homework and they're coming to you ready to rock and roll. Whether they're buying or selling, you have a more informed and educated buyer or seller. It's going to help you out a lot too. And then they also know that's the kind of client that you're looking to help or expect it to see out there. Rewarded, but with partnerships. Same thing with vendors. If you are an agent who is doing well, has a great following, you're going to see some partnerships come your way as far as what vendors you may work with, and connecting with other influential folks that can support your real estate business. Leadership opportunities is a big one. We've got a lot of top performers here at West USA. Obviously, through their success, they have experience. They have been tapped to either be a coach or have decided to coach because of their success. Leadership opportunities do come, even though you're an independent contractor with a brokerage. As someone who has a strong brand, people are going to connect with you and do a lot of peer-to-peer questions to really help out as well. And again, how you help another be successful helps with building your character and your brand as well. Great mind share, connecting with like-minded individuals, other agents who are doing well. Your personal brand is strong. Others who have strong personal brands are naturally connected to you and will gravitate towards you. Associations within your market with a strong brand. You have immediate social proof. And so as you approach those vendors, nonprofits, small mom and pop shops, restaurants, retail, you name it, with a strong brand, you can leverage that, and immediately other small business owners in your area, the neighborhood that you're canvassing or farming, will connect with you. And of course, credibility is a big one. You'll have immediate credibility and trust when it comes to having a strong brand. And then recognition and prestige, obviously, is a big one too. People immediately recognize your brand. I've seen you out and about. I've seen marketing. I've seen you on Facebook, wherever, Instagram. People automatically have that recognition. And then at the end, you'll have a higher perceived value. So people will want to work with you, and they'll know that they're working with a solid real estate agent who's going to get them, the best deal, or, a top dollar for their home, and get it to close without any issues. So that's the things you can look forward to by having a strong brand. So getting into your brand, guys, as I mentioned earlier, your brand is not a logo. You're not Coca-Cola. We're not Sprite. We're not, a Cheesecake Factory. It's more than just a logo. Your brand is a collection of people's perceptions in their mind. When you leave, I mentioned this earlier, when you leave the room, what are people saying about you? If you're me, it's probably not, favorable, but at the end of the day, what is it that people are taking away from their interactions with you? And then how are they conveying that and sharing it with other folks? And it's more than just, like I said, visuals. It goes beyond that. It's how you act, how you engage, and we'll get into some details for you here in a minute. This is my little funny comic interlude. I love these. Someone had taken all the classic logos and brands around the world that we're familiar with, and tweaked them to be a little bit more of what we perceive them to be. My favorite, WebMD. Convince yourself that you have terminal illness. I know that I'm the worst at that. I'll go to a WebMD and I have a cough, and next thing I know, I've got tuberculosis, and I'm going to die in 2 weeks. So WebMD is terrible for if you ever feel bad, just consult a doctor. Old Spice smells like grandpa. Very true. Monopoly, a great way to ruin friendships. We just played Monopoly not too long ago with the kids, and my son's already breaking down because he bought everything and now he has no money. And we don't land on his spots, so he's not collecting any rent. So welcome to real estate. Lay's flavored air. Yes, the bag is much larger than than it needs to be when it comes to no chips and buying a lot and not getting much in return. All right, so that was my funny little spot when it comes to brands. I thought it was pretty cute to share with you guys. All right, so your brand is your strategy. What is your strategy? What is it you want to put into or get out to your clients? How are you going to approach your marketing efforts? Your strategy. Do you want to target millennials? Are you looking for people downsizing, empty nesters? What is your strategy and how do you want to approach it? Just taking any lead is awesome, and we're going to call it. And certainly in this climate, we're definitely going to try to, move it to close quick and become that real estate agent for that client. But having a strategy in place is certainly important. Your call to action. What are you telling your clients when you put out your marketing materials? If you'd like to find out a free home evaluation, email me here, call me here, text me here. Some people are text message based, so they like to put, text me, call or text anytime, 24/7 at the bottom of their marketing materials. So what is your call to action? To learn more, call now, email me. Make sure you're telling people on your marketing materials what you want them to do. Your customer service. Are you someone who calls back within 5 minutes or a day or 2 days? How do you handle your clients is important. Your customer service says a lot about your brand. The way you speak to people is important too. Are you, as I mentioned earlier, enthusiastic? Do you have a lot of emotion when it comes to working with a client? Are you someone who gets rattled real easy? Do you get frustrated? Does that come through when you're having a conversation with your client? Those are all important things. Are you calm? Are you someone who can project being calm so that your client doesn't get all worked up? Again, this may be your 15th, 20th, 200th deal, and this is old hat for you. But when you're speaking to your client, this is their first time. So there's going to be a lot of questions. Does your frustration because of all the questions come through? Again, how you speak to people is really important when it comes to your brand. There's a whole array of other communication tools, right? If we're leaving a sign on the door because you're using the restroom real quick during an open house, or you have literature out on the island when they walk into a home, your yard signs, your open house signs. Are they beat and tattered? And does it look like everybody that lives in the neighborhood just ran over those signs? That is part of your brand. People take away and see that, and it reflects back on you as an agent. Your people is also a reflection of your brand. People that you work with, your vendors. If anybody that you work with in the home buying and selling process is going to connect with your client, are you comfortable with them speaking with them? Have you seen the quality of the work they do, and how do they speak to people? They may not be an employee of yours or a team member, but at the end of the day, they are. And so how and who the people you work with, how they work with their client is important as well, and also a reflection of your brand. Your facilities. Now, this is facilities works really well when it comes to like a brokerage. So if you're going into the branch, is the branch clean? Is the lights on? Or if you're in an open house, you've gone through and made sure that the home is presentable. Even though it's not technically your office building, it's still just as much a reflection on you, since you're showing the house. So your facility is important as well. And if you're meeting with title or loan, or you're going somewhere else off site, making sure that they are up to standards as well. And of course, lastly, yes, your logo and your visuals too are an important piece of your brand. All right, so guys, any questions, just hop in there or unmute your mic, let me know. Happy to help out. We'll keep rocking and rolling here and be respectful of your time. If you're not branding yourself, you could be assured somebody else is. And I have seen lots of real estate agents who don't actually, they're just not assertive with putting a brand out there. And it's important, considering too that much of our current climate, there's not a lot of inventory. So we are certainly oversaturated when it comes to real estate agents. And so if you're not getting out there and branding yourself and differentiating yourself and getting yourself above all the other agents out there, and that's gonna, if you're not, it's gonna be much more hard. It's gonna be harder for you to obviously have a business when it comes to being a real estate agent. And so when I say, if you're not branding yourself, someone else is. Now, this is a little bit of an old school one. Hopefully this will resonate with some of you guys. If you guys remember the old Macintosh, old Mac commercials from the late 90s, early 2000s, well, probably 2000s. Mac versus PC. So the guy on the left would come out and he's like, "Hey, I'm a PC." And then I can't remember the actor's name. He's been in a lot of movies now. On your right, he comes out and says, "And I'm a Mac." And so these are all Apple commercials that are sharing or projecting and branding PCs as bulky and slow, and they're oversized, and they're just not something that is appealing. And Apple really resonated this whole campaign with the younger, hipper crowd, kids who are just getting into tech. And so they did a ton of campaigns where it says, I'm a Mac, I'm a PC, but the Mac was always better in some respects, and in most respects. And that was not, that was all Apple. And Apple was basically branding PCs to be the inferior product. And PC couldn't keep up. They were being outbranded by their competitor. And it really paid off for Apple in that respect. So that's why I say, if you're not branding yourself, somebody else is. So get out front and make sure that you're aware of your brands or your brand. So the 3 W's of personal branding in real estate. Number 1 is, what's in it for me? Get into your target client's mind and understand how you can solve their problems. What is their pain point when it comes to selling their home? Do they need to declutter? Do they need to neutralize the house? What is it that they need to do to get their house ready for sale? And a lot of these things you can do with your personal brand ahead of time, before you even meet your client. That there's going to be home sellers out there that need to do these certain items to get their house ready. You can create video content, you can create postings for social media, and answer those questions ahead of time. Because as I mentioned, people are doing their homework on you before they even meet you. And if you have that content out there, they're going to connect with you right away before they decide to invest their time with you. And I think that's important. Number 2, what value do you bring to the table? What expertise do you have that you can showcase when it comes to creating your brand, and how are you going to convey that? And what is the benefit of you? Why is it beneficial for me to work with you as opposed to somebody else? So again, a lot of food for thought with this whole class today. So I want you guys just to take notes and think about this when it comes to creating your brand. Number two for the 3 W's, who cares? Test, right? When you are creating content, there should be a real reason and a value add, not just, hey, this is, just listed, just sold. Like, just listed because I'm an expert in the area and I've worked with many other sellers in the market. I'm very familiar with the area. Home valuations do tend to go up and down, but they've been on a steady rise. And you can showcase past marketing materials that talk about statistics in the area and really set yourself above your competition because you've showcased your expertise and knowledge for that neighborhood and that market. Content needs to be relevant, timely, and memorable. You want content that's going to entertain, educate, empower, and really set yourself above everybody else. Content that's evergreen. When we say evergreen, meaning content that the how-tos, 3 steps to this, 3 things to avoid that have just made it over the generations of home and selling and buying. Evergreen content, something that I can see today or look at a year from now and nothing has changed. It's still relevant as it was before. If you're going to share on social media, make sure that's meaningful and timely and not generic. Make sure you put some thought process into it when it comes to your brand. And that really help you out too with standing out and become memorable with your clients. Of course, the last one for number 3 on the 3 W's is wow, right? What is your differentiating factor? What do you bring to the table that nobody else can bring? And if it's something personal, if it's family related, if it's something that showcases your personality, fantastic. You leverage that because that's very important these days. The wow factor will highlight what makes you stand out from your competition and from the crowd. And are you the ultimate foodie, or are you the expert of hiking and biking? Or are you the Disneyland expert? Are you a coupon clipper? There's so many things that we do that we have interest in. I love coaching football for my son. So I get in with those dads and moms and team moms and learn more about the sport, how to coach, what to coach. And so if I were an agent, I'm just growing my bubble and my circle of influence. And so for you guys, find your interests, things that you do well, things that you love, things that you're passionate about, because there are hundreds of thousands of other people out there in the world that share that same interest, if not millions. Finding those people and getting into those groups will help you build your brand because you already have a shared common interest. And that's whatever, hiking, biking, and so on. All right, so 5 questions to ask you guys yourself. What are your goals? When it comes to your personal brand, having goals is important. I had an old coach tell me that if we aim at nothing, we're sure to hit it. So having goals is important, whether they're short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. Having those out in front of you. I like to have my short-term goals, within arm's reach. I'll even just grab a sticky note. Like, what's today's goals? Me to get milk for the kids. And then, need to complete this campaign, need to create a new personal brand photo, edit something for a marketing piece, and then midterm and long-term goals. Having those goals out there is important for you when it comes to creating your brand. What do you value? What's important to you? What are you passionate about? What motivates you? And of course, what makes you remarkable? These are all relative. I know there's 5 different questions, but they're all related. One leads to the other, and you can answer all these questions just by getting going with your goals, which is important. So definitely great food for thought on that one. 5 steps to building your brand. So when it comes to building your brand, creating a lasting and effective personal brand takes some time, and I certainly don't expect you guys to walk away today and have it all figured out. These are really meant for you guys to sit down and ask yourself, these questions so that you can start creating your personal brand. Taking inventory. Now, I'm not talking about looking at the MLS and see what's in there or what's available. Taking inventory, looking around you and finding the people that have skills, any skills, any attributes that can help you build your brand. We all have our strengths, and it's important to find those strengths in other people. And if they can help you with your building your personal brand, reach out to them, and of course reciprocate, make sure that you can offer that too. But taking inventory about the people around you who have strengths. If you know someone who's a great graphic designer or a photographer, or if you know somebody who can edit video, create content, reach out to them and connect, ask for their help. You'd be surprised how willing people are. It just, they don't often have the question asked of them. Develop a plan, keep your, so number 2 here, develop a brand and worksheet. I'm going to drop a worksheet into the link here. Pretty sure I can drop one in. If not, I will show you guys where you can get it. If not, I might have you just email me. There's a worksheet that I have for you guys that asks a lot of these questions, and you can fill that out. Keep working that worksheet as you move along. The worksheet will have some great thought-provoking questions, and those will always change. You can make a couple copies. Those will change. The clients change. The environment changes a lot, and so having those questions in front of you will help you with crafting your brand. Choosing the right tools and channels. We'll get into some social media channels that you should be focusing on and why. And then, of course, always measure and repeat. Don't just set it and forget it. Go back to your efforts, your strategy, see what's working and what's not. And like all marketing, it is once you set it in motion, monitor it and make adjustments as accordingly. All right, so personal branding photos, something you guys maybe not have thought about, but I want you guys to really dive deep into this one. It's more than being having pretty colors and logos, and personal brand now it just goes beyond just that headshot. Personal branding photography is it's nothing new, but it's really becoming more prevalent when it comes to social media. Personal branding photos will help you build your online presence, and it's really going to help create some personality. It'll create great content for you on your social media needs, and it is customary now, especially for you guys as real estate agents. You have an opportunity to be an influencer. And I know influencer is a real big buzzword, and it's beyond TikTok. It's more than Instagram stories. Being an influencer for you guys as an agent and in your market is important because you're influencing the sale and purchase of homes in those areas, connecting with those connecting with those business owners, and having an influence on who decides to move into the area, who decides to buy in that area. All really about how about the picture you paint it. Stand out in an oversaturated market for sure. Personal branding photos are a neat way for you guys to showcase your personality, to have fun with it. They don't have to be. Let me go back here. This gentleman over here with twisted his beard. Obviously, we've got great shots, but this is you out working in your office. This is you out shaking hands. This is out you doing an open house. Personal branding photography is a fantastic tool for real estate agents because you guys have so many different backgrounds. You have, communities you can go into, open homes. I know a cool trick that a few agents have shared with me is they'll go to a new build, and they'll take their tripod, their cell phone. Now you can hire a professional photographer. You can go into a new build and on an off time when it's real. When there's not a lot of people around, and you can take some photos, stage shots around the house. Those homes are staged beautifully, and what a great way for you guys to get in there, turn on some lights. Well, the lights are already on, but take some photos, and your consumer doesn't know any different. So this is a fantastic way for you guys to get some cool shots in there and showcase your personality. Clients want to connect with you before they invest with you, and so by seeing these photos, it's really going to help you out a lot. And of course, be more than just one good headshot. It used to be just we handed out our business card and there was the headshot and that was it. Maybe you had a website with a couple photos, but now with personal branding photography, you can really be more memorable for your client. And I know that it's just a very common theme and place now in our social media world. So definitely take that in consideration. It'll really showcase you guys and make you. It gives off professionalism, uniqueness, genuine. And I think those are some important buzzwords to focus on when it comes to your personal branding. So I often get the question, where should I be? Where is my digital presence? Where should I be putting out my content? Where am I? More importantly, the question is where is your audience? Where are you looking to target? Your audience, the demographic that you want to represent, that you want to have, seeing your content, where are they at? And when asking where your audience is, the breakdown is pretty easy. Reverse engineer it. Figure out who you want to target and where they are. Now, if you're someone who's looking to target millennials, your older millennials, 38 and under, they're going to be on Instagram. And Instagram is a very powerful tool for you guys. Largest first-time home buyer is going to be a millennial. They are on Instagram and using Instagram quite a bit. In fact, I was just reading an article the other day on marketing, and I'm going off script here, so bear with me. I was just reading the other day that when it comes to social media platform, Gen Z now, right? Gen Z checks in on a daily basis, and 65% of them are reporting that they are on Instagram. So, that's your mid to late 20s now. They're starting to either renting or pre-qualifying. They're getting into that mindset. And so we're already targeting those folks there. So Instagram, for me, I consider to be number one, even though technically there's more people using Facebook right now. The largest demographic on Facebook is 55 plus. You're retired folks, minus my mom. Can't get her on there. So she still forces me to send her text messages, photos. But when it comes to our aging demographic, they're all still on Facebook, still the number one most visited site on a daily basis. But coming up quickly is Gen Z, Gen X on Instagram. So if you're not on there, I highly recommend it. This statistic has changed just a little bit here. Did you know only 16% of realtors are on IG? It's about 30, 32, 34% now are on Instagram. Registered real estate agents in the country, based on a survey, about 30%. Still a lot of room. That's a lot of agents that are not using Instagram. And I'm sorry, but it's very competitive market right now. I'm going to be everywhere my audience is, so highly recommend it. 40 plus, your 40 plus folks are on Pinterest has seen a huge rise when it comes to social media. YouTube, Facebook, obviously still there too, but Pinterest is a big one. A lot of folks looking to finally learn how to, make a chicken casserole or hard-boiled eggs. So we're all going to Pinterest for cool ideas, arts and crafts stuff. I know I've been doing a lot of Pinterest lately when it comes to content creation, as well as learning. So that's a good breakdown for you guys when it comes to where you should be. A lot of other channels that you should consider. Do you have a website? Does your website reflect your brand? Is there continuity from your social media onto your website, or is it two completely different looks? See what you can do to balance those so that you have, maybe it's the same headshot that resonates across multiple channels. Maybe it's the same color scheme. Again, when you have that continuity and brand, it will anchor in and you'll be more memorable to your clients. If you're using Twitter or any blogging, certainly an opportunity to get some additional exposure there. Podcasting is real big right now. Podcasting, everyone seems to be doing podcasting. We've all got our microphones and we're doing podcasts. You'd be surprised how much audio is consumed on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. There's a lot of statistics out there that say that people who use or listen to podcasts listen for up to 7 hours a week of podcasts. They're sitting and listening in their car, they're on their commute in. So a podcast could be an option for you as well. If you're someone who doesn't like to be on camera, but you don't have a problem speaking, then a podcast audio consumption is a fantastic opportunity for you as well. Of course, your social media sites I've already covered: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest. If you're on Facebook, guys, you should be using Facebook events to create your open houses. Now, if it's not an open house in person, you can do it virtually as well. If you're not or haven't considered going live from your Facebook page, from your device, from your computer, your desk here, you can go live and you can share your screen. Now, it doesn't have to be Facebook. It could be Zoom or any other streaming service or broadcasting service. But when you go live, you can share your screen and you can go through your listings, an open house, if you have photography, any video. The cool thing is you're basically live. People are in your chat box and you can have conversations with them just like you were there in person. And so highly recommend checking out, or at least using Facebook events and going live. You can engage people in conversation, ask them if they have any questions, ask them A, B, do they like this over this, the backsplash over this backsplash? And at the end of the day, you're just having conversations with people virtually and building relationships. Add them into your CRM, and then obviously you can start cranking and calling them and add them to your drip campaign. Last channel there for you guys is Google My Business. If you guys haven't used Google My Business, highly recommend creating one. I have a Google My Business class that's on the YouTube channel. I'll show you guys how to log in, create a Google My Business account. You will start indexing on Google, which is, the largest search engine when it comes to searches for different topics. And if you're on there, again, that'll help you out with credibility and social proof when it comes to being an agent. All right, so some things to consider when with respects to being an influencer. As I mentioned earlier, you guys, at the end of the day, you really are influencers, especially if you're active on social media. You're influencing your buyers and sellers on how they sell, what they sell, where they go, what they're looking for. Just know that you're going to be targeting millennials. Do respond well to influencers. Millennials tend to make buying decisions based on what they see and hear, and they see other products and services on Instagram. Millennials are not, they don't make decisions based on traditional advertising like print media or radio spots or TV. Many of them are not watching TV anymore. They're just consuming streaming content and on social media. Being an influencer allows you to be likable. Your likability is important, so you can use Instagram to that respect and showcase your expertise. Being the neighborhood mayor, that's the big one I like there. Being the neighborhood mayor and showcasing the neighborhood, using short form video, Instagram is a fantastic tool to do and to use in that respect. Okay, so I put some do's and don'ts together for you guys. Audit what people see and how they communicate, and the companies that can see or read about you, right? If you guys haven't done so, do a Google search on yourself. Check what the public view is. What is it that people see when they search your name? And the cool thing about Google is you can set up a search alert. An alert will tell you if any new content based on your search were to hit the internet. So Keith Flynn, real estate agent, or Keith Flynn, marketer, or just my name, my full name. If you set up certain search alerts, if anything ever is posted onto the internet and Google finds it, they'll send you an email notification, which is really cool. We've got search agents set up for the brokerage, on myself, on brokers. That way, if anything is published, we have a lot of agents who sometimes are asked to give interviews for a local article or periodical or something, but they don't ever tell the brokerage. And so we want to know about it. So I'll set up search agents for whenever something is mentioned about our brokerage, and then I can share it, respond to it, and give it its proper attention. So do that for yourself, guys. Set up search alerts for your name so that if you get a good review or a bad review, or you're ever mentioned at all, you'll know it. You can get ahead of your brand. That way you're branding yourself and not someone branding you. Associate with strong brands. Connect with those neighborhood vendors, the neighborhood businesses. Use your business page to like their business page. Connect with them. That way you guys can establish a relationship, and then you can be the connector for your neighborhood. If there's a new menu coming out at a local restaurant, or you're going to do 5 best patios to sit on when the weather no longer feels like the surface of the sun, then you can showcase that and have a good time with your clients. And they will remember you because, hey, I may not need to buy a house now, but Keith always has great articles on, the 3 best splash pads within the 85085 zip code or near us. And when you're putting out that high value content, people connecting with those brands, businesses are connecting with your brand, and that'll help you build your brand and show some social proof. Join the Facebook closed groups. for your neighborhood. I hope you guys have already done this. I hope this isn't, secret sauce. You should all have realized that closed groups are the way to go, especially for a neighborhood closed group, where everyone in that community is in there and you can get in there and get some exposure for yourself as an agent. Stand out without selling. It doesn't always have to be about real estate. I think the big one is you don't always have to hit people over the head with the fact that you're an agent and that you just listed, just sold, coming soon, under contract. Congratulations. I mean, certainly celebrate those accomplishments, but take it beyond just the announcement. Just listed, beautiful 3-bedroom, and then talk about what's great about the neighborhood and why one would want to live there. It doesn't always just have to be the listing and then move on. Introduce someone who just recently moved into the neighborhood. If you have a buyer and they moved in, you don't have to give up all their information or where they actually live, but welcome them to the neighborhood in the closed group. You can be a connector. Hey, everybody, take a chance to say, or take a moment to say, hi, welcome your newest family in the neighborhood, moved from out of state, or they have a son who's going to be starting high school. If anybody has any suggestions for the neighboring high school, jump in there. You'd be surprised how many people want to connect when the door has been opened and you introduce everybody. So, and again, you're just facilitating that, but you're being memorable. You're just another touch point for your community and for the people that you're helping. And then be in the know. Do what you can to find out all the little things that are happening. If there's a new build going in, or if there's a new Starbucks, or there's going to be road closures, there's no reason why you can't create value for yourself and add that into your social media strategy. All right, some don'ts. Don't be too cocky. It's like I mentioned, it's okay to celebrate those accomplishments, but hustle hard, but stay humble. That's important. You always don't have to toot your horn, but avoid trying to sound preachy and boasting a lot. That's important. Seen that from time to time. Not a terrible thing, at least not with our agents, but just be mindful of that. It's okay to share your successes, but don't label yourself as a guru or a master or a ninja or a doctor. I have had people introduce me as social media guru, and I can't stand that term because I'm not a guru. I'm always learning. Nothing is ever set in stone, and then there's no more to learn. So, being an expert even sometimes is a little uncomfortable for me. But well-versed, abreast of what's happening, something that is humble, but avoid those goofy names, especially on a business card or in your titles. Don't post any sensitive material. And I know I sound just like a no-brainer, but be mindful if you're going to do a at signing photo, or like if you're at close and they're signing and you're with your client. You'd be surprised. Be careful, because people can zoom in on those photos, especially with these high-res cameras now. If there's anything that's private or proprietary or anything on the desk, just be mindful when you're shooting photos so that people don't see any bank information or last name, social security numbers, things like that. So it has happened. And who was it that told me the other day? Don't show the key. There's software now that can scan the key in a photo and they can make a duplicate. It does exist. So mind-blowing stuff, but be mindful that too, maybe you have a key fob, or put your thumb partially over the key if you want to do a cool key shot. Don't overshare when it comes to social media, personal and business. Try to keep drama off of your content when it comes to building your brand. Resist resist the compulsively attaching your opinion to every post. You don't have to jump in and offer your opinion all the time. Try to keep it positive. Stay away from negativity. That's important. People are turned off by that. We certainly wouldn't alienate anybody who may be offended by something you have to say. So entertain, have fun, and bottom line is your presence on social media is a highly conspicuous part of who you are and your marketing efforts in the world. And so just be mindful of that as you're creating content. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Recommended apps for you. When you guys are creating your social media content, I put together some popular apps here that I love, that I use, that will really enhance your social media. Just kind of elevate your content creation. You guys know that this is a very visual industry when it comes to real estate. First impressions are everything. And so when you're creating your content, make sure you have good photos. Make sure you're putting out some really cool content. Wipe off the camera lens, especially in the summertime. You know, if it's on our phone all day and then we go to take a selfie and it's this, you know, dream sequence from Wayne's World, you know, you want to make sure that you have crisp, great photography, and then accompany it with any one of these apps that's really going to help you elevate your social media content creation. Adobe Spark, Canva, those are some awesome photo editing software that you can do from a desktop and from a mobile device. I use Canva quite a bit. I'll create something on a desktop, it loads into the app, and then if I'm out and about, I'll upload it into my social media content creation. Adding cool typography. There's quite a few different apps out there. Some start out free, some have a pro plan. Just be mindful of that. But that will really help you up your game, whether you're creating, you know, motivational Mondays or announcements. You know, it is what is helping differentiate influencers and marketers from others by putting out great content in that respect. Okay, so my next class is next Thursday. That'll be June 24th at 10 a.m. We're going to be doing standing out with video first marketing, creating smart video with your smartphone. We'll go through tactics, shooting tips, a shot list, editing software that'll help you guys out. Just go through a lot of the some really cool, neat stuff for those who want to get to do video. I cannot champion video enough for you guys. Video is the most powerful way for us to communicate, especially in this virtual world, and not you know, getting out in front of people as much as we'd like to. But video resonates, and video is more memorable. It's statistically shown that 95% of the message in a video is retained as opposed to any other form of communication or marketing. So you don't need much. Just use your smartphone and we can put out some great content. So we'll be covering that next week. We'll have some fun stuff for you guys to do as a homework, and maybe create a hashtag, and you can tag us in it and we'll see what you guys came up with. So with social media, I'm on there as well. I hope you are too. That's why you're here. You can connect with me, email me. I'm Keith@westusa.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, because I have low self-esteem, feel free to jump in there and email me. I love to hear from you guys. If you have any questions at all, email me. I'll take 30 minutes to give you a quick call. We can talk about any specifics that you're working on or ideas you may have. And of course, feel free to follow me. I would love to follow you guys back and see what you're putting out there in the world. And of course, engage with you and on that platform. Any questions for you guys? Anybody have any burning questions that I can help out with? Feel free to unmute yourself or jump in there. Amy shared her contact information in the chat log there. So be sure to reach out to her if you have any questions. All right. Cool beans. Finished up a little early. So I appreciate your guys' time. I certainly look forward to you guys every Thursday. If you have any, like I said, if you have any questions, email me. As always, be kind, be careful out there, and we will talk to you guys to see you next week. All right. Have a great day.